Hello everyone and welcome to the Fish Room WA. So today's video I'm going to be showing you a step-by-step guide on how to hatch, harvest and raise baby brine shrimp. I hope you enjoy. Okay, so when you're raising baby brine shrimp, you'll need a setup to raise them. So I use the Zis brine shrimp hatcheries. I think that's the name. These are really effective. They hatch them like crazy and they're really easy to clean and harvest from. So yes, that's the setup. You've bought them. Now you're gonna have to go into raising your baby brine shrimp or hatching them. So the key things you'll need to raise a baby brine shrimp will be salt, baby brine shrimp eggs of course, and water, and of course air. So how hatching baby brine shrimp works is you'll put the salt in to the amount of, so you put I put a tablespoon of salt in, I think per 2 liters, and then you put your eggs in, you stick an air stone in, and then they'll run. And about 24 to 48 hours later, the baby brine shrimp will hatch. And then once they're all fully hatched, you'll see the water will turn this nice orange color, as you can see here. This one's ready to get harvested, and it's like that nice orange color. So that means your baby brine shrimp is hatched. So then after that step will be, disconnect the air, let them all settle, and then harvest from there, and then just go around and feed your fish. And of course, clean the hatchery out and then restart it. So that's what this video is going to be about, and I'm going to be showing you the full steps on how to do it. So first things first, let's just disconnect a hatchery from the air so that all the baby brine shrimp will settle. Another key fact to know about baby brine shrimp is they're attracted to light. So you want to get a torch or something under the hatchery to draw them down. So that's what we're going to be doing here. And I'll be back with you once the baby brine shrimp is settled. Okay, so now that your baby brine shrimp has settled and the light has attracted them to the bottom, it's time to harvest them. So all you'll need for this is just a little container, a cup. You can technically use anything to harvest these guys. So then what you just do is, I just attach my airline tube into it, and then just leave the light in there a little bit to keep them coming to the bottom. And as you'll see, I'll let you guys be able to see this. You'll see this nice, deep orange color come out. Look at that. That's liquid gold in the fish keeping world. Yeah, so this is a necessity. If you're keeping fish or breeding fish, whatever you're doing, I think having brine shrimp on hand is a necessity for your fish's health. And, if you're raising fry, it's a necessity because this just grows fry at a phenomenal rate compared to dry foods. Or, if you just have a community tank, it's still great for the fish's health, and, it moves around in the water column, so, entices them to have a little feed. Okay, so now that we've got our baby brine shrimp, it's time to feed. Okay, so now we're on the stage of feeding. So yeah, again, container, just take a pipette's worth, or this tank probably need a little bit more. Yeah, you just use a pipette, and you just squirt it into the water. And you can see they go nuts for it. So give them another squirt. And yeah, phenomenal for fry. These guys are baby golden rams, and you can just see them attack it. Look, they just go nuts for it. And this is, again, really good for growing them and entices them to feed, as it hops around the water column. Okay, so one last feed for you guys. Okay, so now that your brine shrimp is being fed, it's time to clean and restart your brine shrimp hatchery. Okay, so now we're on to the part of cleaning and restarting your brine shrimp hatchery. So of course, the first thing to do is just pour all your old water out, because this is no longer needed. Let's give it a nice rinse out. You want to make sure that you give it a really good clean, because all the salt water kind of builds up on the plastic. Okay, just want to give it a nice scrub out. Okay, so that one's done. Now onto the lid. Give it a nice thorough clean. Okay, there we go. Okay, so now we're just going to be filling up our brine shrimp hatchery. And when you are filling up your hatcheries, make sure that you use warm water, because these brine shrimp won't hatch in colder temperatures. So they won't hatch in like 20 to 22 degrees Celsius. It has to be more like 24 to 26. So this room's temperature controlled, so it always sits around 26 degrees. So I don't need a heater for the brine shrimp. But if you're somewhere in a room that gets pretty cold, you probably would like to keep a heater in your brine shrimp to make sure it stays at that constant warm temperature for them to hatch. Okay, so fill the water. Let's find the right temperature. There we go. Okay. Let that fill itself up. Okay, finally it's filled. Whoops, get that out there. Okay, so now what you need to do is add your salt to the hatchery, because these guys won't hatch in just fresh water. So you'll need to add, I would say a tablespoon per 2 liters. Just add in, any kind of salt. Some people even use just pool salt, which is completely okay. So yeah, just add in your salt. And then we'll just go back and we'll put this container back up here. Okay, so now it's time to add your brine shrimp. So for my brine shrimp, I use Aqualabs. I found that they have very good high quality brine shrimp, and their brine shrimp's like a really nice deep orange, and my fry grow a lot better on it. So yeah, if you're looking for some brine shrimp, I'd definitely recommend them. Yep, so now we're just going to be adding our brine shrimp to the container. So how many fish you're feeding, so like the amount of brine shrimp you put in depends on the amount of fish you're feeding. Because I'm breeding fish, I need to add a decent amount, but if you've only got one aquarium at home, you won't need as much as I'm putting in. Okay, so now that the brine shrimp's in, there you go. Put this back. And now it's time to reconnect the air stone into the hatchery. There, and that is how you set up your brine shrimp hatchery. I hope you enjoyed the video, and please leave a like and subscribe, and I hope you have a great day. I've also found newly that dogs are very interested in baby brine shrimp. You can see here, just trying to get a taste, but yeah, this isn't probably very good for yeah, still interested. She doesn't know what's good for her. She's just like, ooh, that looks interesting, and she'll eat it. But yes, this is for fish, not dogs.